Good morning, boys and girls. Today I'm super excited to share one of my favorite books that I read when I was in first grade to you called Miss Nelson is Missing. Okay? And it is by Harry Allard and James Marshall. We'll be reading some more James Marshall books later. I think his illustrations are very unique, kind of like Stephen Kellogg that we read the other day. You can definitely tell when it's a James Marshall book. All right, so Miss Nelson is Missing. I hope you enjoy it as much as I still do. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling, paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst behaved class in the whole school. That is not a problem we have in our class. Our class is awesome. Now settle down, said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice, but the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and made faces. They were even rude during story hour. Uh-oh, that would never happen in our class. And they always refused to do their lessons. Something will have to be done, said Miss Nelson. She's got a plan. Watch out for those tricky teachers. The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow, yelled the kids, now we can really act up. They began to make more spitballs and more paper airplanes. Today, let's be just terrible, they said. Not so fast, hissed an unpleasant voice. Oops. Here's what they're planning until a woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp. And she rapped the desk with her ruler. Where is Miss Nelson? Asked the kids. Never mind that, snapped Miss Swamp. Open those arithmetic books. Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. Uh-oh. I don't know if I would want her as a substitute teacher. She looks a little scared. They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Ooh. Right away, she put them to work, and she loaded them down with homework. Uh-oh. It's getting worse. We'll have no story hour today, said Miss Swamp. Keep your mouth shut, said Miss Swamp. Sit perfectly still, said Miss Swamp. And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry, said Miss Swamp. Ooh. She's getting scarier and scarier. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by and there was no sign of Miss Nelson. They missed Miss Nelson. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said. I think Miss Nelson is missing. Detective McSmog would not be much help. He looks a little crazy. Check out that fancy tie. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. If she sees us, she'll give us more homework. They got away just in time. Here she comes. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. Uh-oh. There she is getting eaten by a shark. And it says on the bottom, sharks, very unpleasant. Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars, said another kid. But that didn't seem likely either. There she is with her umbrella on Mars. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was the least likely of all. I've never seen a swarm of angry butterflies before. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. Here comes the witch, they whispered. Hello, children, someone said in a sweet voice. What? It was Miss Nelson. Did you miss me? She asked. We certainly did, cried all the kids. Where were you? That's my little secret, said Miss Nelson. How about a story hour? Oh, yes, cried the kids. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly. What brought about this lovely change? She asked. That's our little secret, said the kids. Look how happy they are. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. I'll never tell, she said to herself with a smile. I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see her room. Pay attention to her closet and her little beauty desk that she's got over here. She's got some interesting accessories that might be a good clue. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. Oh, poor Detective McSmog. So what do you think Miss Nelson's little secret was? I think there's an interesting lesson in this story. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed Miss Nelson is Missing. Have a wonderful day.